Welcome to Tell You Later.
Hosted by Katie Leigh versus Will Ryan.
Who will take home the trophy?
Tell you later. Ow, my foot.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to their channel.
We haven't got a title song for this show, so we're singing this thing instead.
Okay.
It's really just a substitute. Nonetheless, the melody may stay in your head.
Oh, I hope so.
'Cause it's a tune.
It's a tune.
You'll love to croon.
You'll love to cruise.
But there's one thing you should know. We have to confess we do not possess a title song for this show.
Ain't it peculiar?
Believe it or not, we haven't got a title song for this show.
Oops. Welcome back to Tell You Later. I'm Katie Leigh. This is my special guest, Kimmy Robertson. We're having such fascinating discussion. Tell You Later, also known as the Bermuda Triangle of Thought, and where you learn so much about so little, and vice versa. Did you know that? I do now. That's our motto. Thank you, everybody, for supporting us on Patreon and liking and sharing and subscribing on YouTube. Let's just talk about art. You said that art. Yes, you found joy and creativity in acting.
I did.
In front of a camera, which to me, maybe I kind of want to try it now that I'm at a certain age, but before I think I was very self-conscious. How did you not be self-conscious?
I am a ham hock. I was born a ham hock. No, I became a ham hock because I'm a younger sister. My older sister is a brainiac and very high IQ.
You have two sisters?
One sister. I'm the little sister.
Oh, I thought you said because of my younger sister.
No, because I'm the younger sister.
Because you are the
Excuse me
younger
for
sister.
mumbling. And so
I was like, what? There's another one I don't know
a
about?
new discovery. So my sister being a brainiac at the kitchen table, she would discuss things with my father, who is a pharmacist, an engineer, and an aerobatic pilot.
So he wasn't very accomplished at all. That's amazing.
The
Did you own your own
Robertsons.
plane?
2 planes, a Cessna and a Pitt Special.
How many people could fit in that?
And before that, he had a T6.
Was he in the Air Force?
He was in the Air Force. He
We salute you.
He wanted to fly. That's all he wanted to do. In World War II, when the World War was done, they gave you aptitude tests, and then they set you up in whatever it was, and that you excelled in, and that was dentistry and pharmacy. And he didn't want to be looking in people's mouths all day long. He said so. He chose pharmacy, but he really loved aerobatic, especially doing tricks in the air, aerobatic flying, and but back then men would go to work, and work meaning work and not fun, and that's what they did.
Drudgery.
And the wives, the moms
Became aerobatic pilot.
would stay at home and raise the kids. This was in the 50s.
Did he
That's how
have
we did
wing
it then.
walkers?
No, he did not have wing walkers.
Because you would be a great wing walker, I think.
I would have been, and I wasn't afraid. But when we were little, like 4 and 6, my sister's 2 years older, he had a T6, which is a World War II plane with, the canopy that slides back, the glass canopy, huge engine in the front and wings. And we would sit in the front in the same seat, and he'd sit in the back and drive. And when he would start that plane, it was a tail dragger.
Wait, are you supposed to drive in the back seat, or he just did
Yes.
that so he could put you in the front?
No, that's how you do it with most tail draggers. You sit in the back.
And could
there's
your
2
mom
seats.
fit in there too, or just the three
No,
of
just
you?
the 2 of us in the front and him in the back.
Did he like flying? I'm going to adjust this.
He loved it. It was his
No,
absolute
I mean, did your mom
passion.
like flying?
No,
No.
no.
Was she scared?
Yeah. Yes. She didn't like flying. She didn't like driving. She didn't like roller coasters. She didn't like any of that stuff. But we did, and he would start the plane, and it would go boom, 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 just like that.
What airfield?
This was all around here, so Torrance, and
Which is now called Zamperini Field. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, it's named after
Mr. Zamperini.
the one from World War II that they wrote the movie about.
Zamperini's Follies.
Nope. No, Louis Zamperini. He was a runner, and he survived World War II. Like, he lived out on the ocean, like, I think in a boat for
I
like
didn't know
30 years.
anything about this. Where have I been? I
I don't know. You
watched the
keep
news
talking,
in a
and I'll
while.
tell you who Louis Zamperini is. But he was from Torrance, and so they named the airport and the football stadium.
So, when my dad would take me up to do aerobatic stuff.
Did you really go like aerobatic with him?
Yes.
Like upside down?
Yes. My favorite thing that he did was called a lomshivak. And that is
Is that English?
Lomshivak is Russian or Polish. So the plane does this.
Mm-hmm.
So wing over wing. It does this. End over
Tail over
end.
end over end.
And it does
Does it do like the corkscrew?
this.
Whoa.
Wingtip over wingtip, all at the same time. So
No
it's
way! How do you do that?
You do this with the stick, and with the rudder, aileron, and stuff. You go back and forth with your feet.
Did he teach you how to fly?
Yeah, but not that. I mean, I know how to do it, but I never actually.
Did you ever want to
steered.
get your pilot's license?
Yes, however, I have a tendency to space out.
You mean get distracted?
Get distracted.
Do other things?
And that's not a good thing if
It's
you're
not
flying.
too late. Oh, you mean while you're flying? I thought you meant you were on your way to flying lessons and noticed a sale at Macy's.
I know. I would think I knew that if I was flying and I went, oh, is there a sale at Macy's?
It could be
Was
dangerous.
that the airport? Oh.
So here's Louis Zamperini. I don't know if any of you can see the picture, but just so you know.
How are they going to see it that
I
fast?
don't know. Can it be seen? I don't know.
Bless you. Bless you.
Okay. Louis Zamperini, and he just died recently. American World War II veteran and Olympic distance runner. Yep, and he took up running, and there's a whole, then the movie, let's see if it tells you, because y'all should see this. It's a really good, Unbroken is the name of his movie. The movie about
yes.
his life.
I heard about the movie.
Yeah. And he also became an evangelist. So he was in 2 different prisoner of war camps in Japan. Horrible. But he survived. So
the airport that was Torrance Airport is now Zamperini Field.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yes, so you
So
go
my
up
dad
and then
would
did you have to
take
wear
up-
goggles and scarves and leather helmets? in
No
those planes?
scarves. No, we would have. Yes, in his pit special, so the back has a cockpit that's covered. That's where the pilot sits. The front is an open cockpit, and it's a biplane, so it has a wing there and a wing there. And if you're sitting in the front as a passenger, you have to wear a microphone, and I would just wear my own sunglasses. Mine.
When you were 4?
No, this is more recently.
Oh, okay.
So I'm specifically talking about prospective boyfriends.
Mm.
My dad liked to take them up, and I liked him to take them up in his biplane, a pit special,
To see if they would
to see
freak
what
out or
kind
not?
of person they were.
Ooh.
And back in those days, which would have been the 80s and 90s, we were allowed to say what kind of man he was. You're not allowed to say that anymore, so don't say it. Shh. Okay. So you have a parachute that goes all around and ties up around and the many straps, and then the seat belt that comes up and over your head and has these big metal buckles.
Oh, kind of like the roller coaster at California Adventure.
And another one that goes across your lap.
Yeah, wow, you really are strapped in.
But when you're up in the air, upside down, and there's no cockpit, you're going along,
And you're
here's
like the open
ground.
air and you're upside down. Oh my goodness.
You look up to see the ground, and you notice that you're hanging off of the chair. I don't know if it's called a chair. I guess it's a seat.
A seat.
And you notice that your sunglasses kind of go like this.
I bet you lost a
And
couple
then they
pair,
go like
right?
this, and they hang on the, the holders that you. Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't lose and because I used to always wear those things.
Oh,
Like,
straps.
yeah, and so
Smart.
that was up in a place called by Oxnard, and it's in Santa
Camarillo?
Paula.
Oh,
Santa Paula, right by Camarillo. Okay, I saw Tony Randall, who's an actor, and he was on the TV show
Odd Couple.
Odd Couple for many years, and he was a regular guest on a nighttime talk show called Johnny Carson that was on for like 35 years.
Right. Do you know we have a Johnny Carson pencil? Yes, Will brought these because I said Johnny Carson always did, tapped his pencil. And when
And he
I
did
tried it
this
with a
too.
regular pencil, it poked me. And Will said that's because Johnny Carson pencils
Have two
erasers, so no matter how it bounces, you don't get, lead poisoning. Stabbed. Right. Anyway,
Cool.
interesting. Would you like to
Yes.
have one as a souvenir?
I'd love one.
I'm going to give that to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on. But you can't do your hair with it because it's all erasers. I mean, well, you can stick it in, but you can't.
No, I won't. I'll just wear it.
Okay, so your dad would take your future... Wait,
Oh, Tony Randall was a guest very often on Johnny Carson show, and I always like to tune into that because he taught me stuff. Tony Randall
was smart.
was smart.
Yeah.
And if he didn't know something, he'd research it. And he came on one evening and said Camarillo when he was talking about
Did
the
he
city.
really?
And Johnny Carson went, wait. Wait.
Wait.
You just said Camarillo. And
I'm going to adjust my
Tony
flower.
Randall said it's actually Portuguese settlement or something. And the way you pronounce it is Camarillo, not Camarillo. That would be
No way.
Spanish.
So that's like the Portuguese way of saying that?
I guess so, and here's the thing. I've told this to several people over the years, and I forget all the reasons why they tell me I'm wrong, but there's like a billion reasons
Have you
why
told any
I'm wrong.
Portuguese-speaking people?
No, I haven't really made it a big
If
thing
you
to
speak
find this
Portuguese,
out.
put in the comments below how you would say Camarillo or
I-L-L-O.
Camarillo in Portuguese.
And also, if you want to find that Johnny Carson, that would be really cool, because I'd be interested to know if I remembered it correctly or inverted it.
Oh, you know what?
Because I have been known to do
And
that.
people do.
Yeah.
It's not just you. You know what? I'm going to look it up.
Thank you.
Yes, and if we find it, I'll put a link in the below. Below the thing we can't see right now, but you will see when this gets posted. Ta-da.
So,
You saw Tony Randall where?
no, on
the
Johnny
airport?
Carson. On Johnny
Oh, this is about camera. Okay, so what about your boyfriends?
So his prospective boyfriends, my dad would take them up. They'd land. My dad would get out of the plane, and the guy would still be in there. Like, all I'd see is this hunched over human. And finally, my dad would help them out, and that was always difficult. And then they'd just be standing there, green and wobbly, and
Well, they didn't know what
went-
to expect, did they?
Not a
Did you give
prospective
them a
boyfriend.
Did you let them know ahead of time what was happening, or
That it
did
was
just
a test?
Yeah, or
It was
just
a test.
my dad wants to take you for a little cruise.
It was never spoken about because it was kind of unconscious on both my dad and my part, I have to say.
It was just like, Here's another boyfriend, Dad.
Let's go to the airport.
Did anybody survive?
Yeah.
Did anybody come out with flying colors, as they say?
No one came out with flying colors, but one boyfriend, Jim, he was a trooper.
That's good.
He was green, but acted like he was in the pink.
My dad was kind of like that, too. And oddly enough, his name was Dick. Yes.
Ah.
Yeah, it was my dad. One time, we went on vacation in high school. I had a boyfriend for quite a while. And he said, okay, well, while we're gone, I want you to take care of the lawn in the house. Watch over it for me. So we handed him a $20 bill, and then he ripped it in half or cut it in half. He said, here's half. I'll give you the other half when we get back.
How cute.
Yeah, that was Dick.
Cute.
So, yeah, he was pretty funny that way. One time he came in. I think I was already out of high school.
It's hard to be a dad.
I know, and my dad was a dad of 3 daughters.
Oh boy, that's
And yours was a dad of 2 daughters. And he would be working around the house. I don't know if your dad had this problem, maybe not, but he'd be
My
trying
dad had
to.
overalls.
Oh, my dad would never go near overalls. He
Oh.
only got jeans, I think, in the 80s.
Oh boy.
But he was a lifeguard. My dad was a lifeguard in La Jolla growing up. He grew up in Beverly Hills, the lowlands, I think. And went to Beverly Hills Elementary. I think it was elementary and junior high when he went. But yeah, so he was a lifeguard for a while. But my dad would be trying to fix stuff, and he'd say, live in a house full of women, nobody can do anything.
No, it wasn't like that because we did it, and if my sister didn't, I did.
Well, I mean, I helped him a
helped.
lot.
I had my own
But if I
toolbox.
wanted to get out of it, no, I was a good helper. But if I go, if any kind of hesitancy, go, never mind, I'll do it myself, so I could get out of helping him. 'Cause
I
didn't-
never did that. I always was a good daughter. Not a bad daughter like you.
I wasn't that bad.
Well, you tried to get out of your chores.
Well, it was hard to help him because he
My
was very
sister
stressed
had an IQ,
kind of person.
or has an IQ of like 160. And because we're going back to the ham hock.
Ham hock.
So, and she was quiet. So, being a sibling, I would do the opposite of her. She'd be hiding behind a chair, and I'd be tap dancing.
It sounds like me and I'm 2 years older than, 22 months between my sister and myself. That's what my mother would say. Not 2 years, 22 months.
22 months.
Yes.
I always
22
crack me up when they
months
do
apart.
the month thing. How old is it? Oh, how old's your baby? A million months. Well, does that add up to what? 10?
I know, that's what it's. When you have a baby, you just count
You
the
go
months.
crazy.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I used to
eat
wave
the
people
placenta.
down. I
Eat
used
the
to
placenta.
wave people down who were passing my house when my first son. Could you just watch my kid for a minute so I can go to the bathroom? I was like best friends with the UPS guy who was the only one who came to visit. Now there's Amazon, but I would order stuff. And hey, Steve, how's it going?
I don't use Amazon. Anyway, so my sister had this high IQ, and it came time for me
I
to
bet you
do
have a
my
high IQ too. Do you even know what yours is?
Let me tell you what I did.
Okay.
I did the test, and I finished it and went, this is really weird. It's so easy. It's just some sort of joke.
I bet yours is higher than your sister's.
I then I stood up.
No offense, sis, because we think you're brilliant.
I stood up, and I heard the voice in my head say, change some answers. And I stood there for a while, and the teacher who was sitting way over there was during recess. She didn't look up or anything, so she didn't see that I had stood up. And I snuck back down into the chair, and I erased some answers, and on purpose wrote the wrong answers.
Why?
Because I didn't want to be pressured like my sister. I didn't want my mother introducing me as this is my kid with 172 IQ. I didn't want that. I wanted to be left alone. I wanted to sit and stare at the paint. I mean, already was have you practiced the piano yet? Have you practiced this? Have you done that? Have you done your artwork? Have you done... And if I was playing, like, it's okay, you can go out and play for 1 hour. So I'd go out and I would get my bike out of the front of the garage, bring it around, and it would go past the kitchen window. Kimmy, it's time to come in. Mom, I just came in. I know, but it's time to come in. You really need to come in now. So I wasn't allowed to play. Ever.
Why do you think your mom was like that?
She didn't want me to be a loser. She wanted me to be something.
Did she think she was a loser?
Oh, yeah. That's why moms do that kind of junk.
Oh. Well, that's too bad. My mother would holler so loud we could hear her 2 blocks over. There were 4 of us. She had this incantation. I was called Kathy.
I thought you were going to use it.
No, I'm not going to do it as loud as my mom did. Because we didn't even have, like... I have a sensitive ear, but it's this one. It was from the speaker in gym class. It was so loud.
The other way around then.
It damaged my ear, I'm sure of it, because they never fixed the speaker in the locker room in middle school, and it would come on really, really loud, like crackling when they'd give announcements.
We'll have to flash your ear. I knew I'd hurt my ear. I was going to bring the flash.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so she would yell, Kathy, Vicky, Andy, Larry, and my friends, oh, your mom's calling you. They could hear. Yeah.
Wow.
Serious loudness.
We weren't allowed to be 2 blocks away ever. My sister was never allowed to play ever
because
she had to practice the piano.
But she was in the USC marching band. But I know she didn't play the piano in the marching band.
She was a pipe organist and a choir director at 12 in the Episcopal Church.
That's some Did your father want you to work that hard too, or just your mom?
I think my father was busy being a father and trying to find time to fly. But being a working man.
Yeah. Wow.
Because he wasn't there all day long when my mother was barking the orders out. And when he'd get home, she was all of a sudden, this nice, genteel person. I'd be like, what happened to that other lady?
Was she from California?
No, she grew up in the same town at the same time as...
Don't say Johnny Carson, because that will just blow my mind.
No. What's his name? With the soup cans.
Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol.
From Pennsylvania.
McKee's Rocks.
You said that you got some sort of inspiration, creative acting or something inspiration from a poet or a quote you read.
Well, okay, remember when I talked about the first year of, it was the first 2 years of my acting career that all happened just like by magic. When we talked about how I was a ballet dancer, I didn't want to be an actor, and then I was an actor all of a sudden. Well, I did the movie, and then I did another movie.
Did you ever do ballet in a movie?
No. One thing that I realized yesterday, it's really odd because I'm almost 67, and still things pop up that are...
weeds?
You'd think you'd be wrapping things up.
But new things come up all the time. That's the thing. That's what I was telling somebody.
And that was it.
I'm almost 63.
Why couldn't other than David Lynch using most of my talents, one being dancing, nobody else ever did.
That's so strange. But we think of these things, I think I get more busy. Do you find there's more things you want to do as you get older than you did when you were younger? Or no?
I've always had a million things that I wanted to do. I have an itch. But that one came to me yesterday. Why couldn't I ever have been, and why can't I be?
Well, you could.
Dancing. And they use ballet they use actors to play ballet teachers. They wouldn't have to use a double.
They could use you be a real ballet teacher in a movie, right?
Or even
TV
when I was
show,
younger, I could have done it. They wouldn't have to use.
But you know what?
Body.
I bet it's going to happen, and you want to know why?
Why?
Because now you're like the right age to play that
A
what
ballet
people think
mistress.
of as ballet matrons,
Mistress.
even. Like
The mean matron.
I don't know that you could be. Could you be mean?
Oh, yes.
You could.
Is that what you call turned out? I'm just curious. Is that an arm or a piece of salmon?
Ooh.
Does
That's
that mean?
very inspirational.
I'm just curious.
But you know
is
what?
that
You
hair
could. You
or
should.
a nest?
Okay, we're putting it out there because for a while we tried to concentrate on you being on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, right. We bailed on that.
Yeah.
I didn't, yeah.
Now okay, everybody out there, I want you to envision, help us out. Help us get Kimmy in a movie or a show where she
this
gets to
is
dance or
simple.
play a dancer.
We all just say, thank you for the perfect movie where I get to use my millions of years of training as a dancer.
Thank you for the perfect movie. It's out there.
Thank you.
And so, what else were you you were telling me? You read something inspired that.
So I did the 3 movies, and then my career lagged, and I figured, oh, that's over.
Which most careers do.
Right, but I didn't really know that at the time. I was learning that. I was in the middle of learning that, and I got 3 jobs. I had worked as a kid in my dad's pharmacy, and I had never had a normal job other than that. So I was always, like at 15, I was paid as a dancer. So I always did those kinds of jobs. Well, I got a job at Capezio.
Like stance shoes and leotards.
Then a job at a limousine company. It was called Top Hat Limousine. And then a job at Dick Clark Productions.
That's
All
Hank
3
Soroyan worked at Dick Clark. Did you know him when you were there?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So all 3 of these...
Shout out to Hank Soroyan. My first, Muppet Babies director, Dungeons and Dragons director,
Nice guy.
Dick Clark Productions guy, Raccoon Whisperer.
Very nice man. Everyone that worked there was nice. But each one of those jobs was a year long. So getting to the point, Goethe is a poet, was a poet.
Wait a minute. Who?
Goethe.
You mean this Goethe?
Yeah.
I happen to own a Goethe hand puppet. And I don't know how many people out there do.
Look at his cute little jacket.
Yes, he looks like a
Buttons.
composer, but he's actually
Buttons
Goethe.
and a velveteen jacket.
poet. He probably has a German accent. What did he say? I'll pretend like. What did you read?
It's kind of longer than that.
Oh.
Your arm will go to sleep. I was telling my friend Victoria that I'm tired of doing nothing. And she said, what is it you want to do? I said, I want to act again. And I really want to do that for a living, Victoria. And she said, hang on one second. And she went and she came back with a piece of paper. And it was the Goethe quote, until one is committed. Now you can do it. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Blah, 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 blah. But the moment one truly commits oneself, all manner of things move in one's favor. Providence moves too.
Wow, that's a long quote.
Yeah, and I don't remember it all, but
The gist
whatever
was
you can do or dream you can do, begin it. Begin it now. Something has magic in it. Like action has magic in it. And at that moment, I felt every cell in my body change.
Let me take a bow.
Thank you, Mr. Goethe.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening to my words and making them happen. Proving my point.
Yeah.
All right.
So I sat there
Danke.
In a kind of a state of shock. And then someone went, I turned around and they said, excuse me, I was told downstairs that you're an actor and we're holding auditions down there. I wondered if
where
you could
were
come
you?
at Dick Clark Productions.
Oh, okay.
I was working in the counting department. Would you come down and audition? So I did. I got the part. And then I said, this really I have a friend who would be much better at this part. She was like a Marilyn Monroe-ish
What was the
character.
To enjoy the full episode, please support us at patreon.com/tellyoulater. Thanks a lot. I bet you have many more stories,
Yeah,
and we'll
but I
have to
can
have you
tell
back.
you later.
Okay.
You Later is a Patreon-driven entertainment show. So what are you waiting for? Come on over. Join us at patreon.com/Tell You Later.
Are they done yet? If so, let's watch this episode again. Arr!